The dark night of the soul is essentially in our lives as almost a life upgrader. It's here so that we feel a little bit of pain, so that we have a look inside, we turn inwards for perhaps the first time in a very, very long time, and we see that our lives aren't really the way we want them to be. And so, very kindly, our higher selves or our higher mind sends pain into ourselves as a reflection that we're acting out of alignment, or that we are out of alignment with where we want to go or who we really are in our lives. Usually, as the pain comes, we are believing something to be true about ourselves that isn't actually in alignment with our higher mind's view of ourselves. I hope we can speak like this. So, I'm going to go into this a little bit today and talk about how the dark night of the soul is not only a dimensional upgrade, but it's also showing us also how the dark night of the soul is showing us how we can come out of duality. That was almost like a boy's own, like busted sort of thing, like at a microphone. Ah! Anyway, we're going to talk about this today, so if you're interested in this, then by all means, stick around. So I've been feeling into this today. The dark night of the soul seems to be something that we all resonate with on this channel, and if you're not going through it yet, you will be at some point. And if you've already been through it, then you probably don't need to watch this because you probably already know this to be true about yourself. But I'm going to talk about today a different perspective. Essentially, my feeling is to try and give as many different perspectives as possible as to what the dark night of the soul is and why it's happening. Usually, we're feeling pain in the dark night of the soul on levels that perhaps we've never felt before. And it's all for an amazing reason. It's essentially teaching us, when that pain's there, to look at what thought forms were involved in causing that pain and see if we could dig out from that any beliefs, negative beliefs of self. And from there, we can begin to, not manipulate, because it's a bad word, but feel into those beliefs and see whether they're really serving us anymore. It's essentially a dimensional upgrade, because our higher mind is saying, here's some pain. You need to look at why this pain is within you. What was it that you were thinking in that moment that caused that pain? And of course, we then have the opportunity to just feel that pain if we want to. It's not such a scary thing to do when we have a little bit more perspective around it. And the only way really to get out of the dark night of the soul in the first place is to get into it. We have to almost marry, to kiss this pain. It's almost like, and I was feeling into this today, when I really started to make a shift and really begin to change my own perspective on the dark night of the soul, was really when I began to make friends with the burning inside. Now, bear in mind, when we're in the dark night of the soul, you're beginning to upgrade your life. So the pain is going to come anyway, because it's naturally, your pain is going to be there. It's why depression's so great, because usually pain precedes growth. If you understand what I mean, let me give you another perspective of that. Nobody wants to do that presentation at work in front of 100 of your colleagues because we're scared of being judged. But we know that once we've done the presentation, how good we'll feel. For no reason, apart from the fact that we've just grown. It's similar in the dark night of the soul. And to grow, we need to feel pain. We don't need to, but usually that's the best form of teacher for us, because we know that we don't really learn from bliss. We just like, oh yes, this is it. I'm so good now. Look at me. So pain is there as a teacher, a real soberer of our lives. And in the dark night of the soul, you're going to feel the pain anyway. The pain is going to be there. It's just what you do with that pain which determines how long you're going to stay in the dark night of the soul for. And I was feeling into this today, and I'm like, it really began to change for me when I knew that the pain was just going to come anyway, because unconsciously I was manifesting this pain away in my mind by suffering, by believing things to be true about myself which aren't. So I thought the real change came for me when I really began to make friends with that pain. It's almost like, can we learn to enjoy the burn? Because if we take the mental thing, the mental suffering out of it, or the mental causes for it, because we're always doing it to ourselves, aren't we? Sometimes it can feel at the start, because we don't perhaps have the awareness at the moment, the spiritual awareness around it, that this pain is quite unconscious, it's just coming in and battering me for no reason. But as we enjoy the burn of the pain begins to give us answers, right? It begins to show itself. It's quite shy at first, but after a while, as we begin to kiss that pain and really just relish the burning sensation, when we do that, we're coming in from quite a positive attitude. And in that sense, we're beginning to let the duality of it drift away from us. But as we make friends with that pain, it will begin to teach us things as to why that pain's there, usually things that we've repressed through our lives, or things that we've told ourselves to be true about ourselves, usually that's come in from the conditioning from our parents, or from friends, or from ex-partners, or whatever. And sometimes these things can be awfully negative. Now, bear in mind, we can then take this a bit deeper. We can blame our external situation for our pain, but we realise, maybe, I don't know whether we're realising this or not, but I just have to speak for myself. I began to realise that blaming my external circumstances for my pain, oh, it's my ex-lover's fault, oh, it's my dad's fault or whatever for my pain, really is quite insincere, because we had to believe them, right? We had a responsibility in this too. We believed them. And we know we're so powerful as beings, and we're so incredible, really. We know this to be true about ourselves anyway. We're awesome. We know that. We know that we shouldn't be letting our guard down and believing these things, but it's almost like in a moment of vulnerability, it almost feels nice, so that we get the attention from ourselves that we're not getting from the external side, to just believe them and be like, oh yeah, well, I am crap. And I don't say this to mock people. I say it because I've been there. I know it. And we're only going to get out of this situation when we accept personal responsibility for the part that we had to play in our pain. And this is how it begins to take us out of duality, because when we approach our pain from a positive standpoint, that's like, oh yeah, let me just feel that pain, and we take the external suffering, the mental thing out of it, or the external reasoning for it, then it just becomes a sensation. Pain isn't positive or negative. We define it positive or negative. That's our responsibility, right? And of course, we don't really like it because it's quite a intense experience, pain. But it's just a sensation. When we take the external circumstances out of it, it is just a sensation. Well, then what's to say we can't make friends with our sensation? Why can't we nudge up against that sensation? And then we might realise, as we're nudging up against that sensation with a positive attitude, almost like coming in from like trying to hug it, really get involved. Oh, pain, hell yeah! Let me nestle in there. And as we realise that it's just a sensation, I actually made this top for myself while I was going through the Dark Night of the Soul. How cool is that? How weird is that I'm wearing this right now as well? Anyway, as we nudge up and really nestle in and sort of not really wrestle our pain, but really become friends and enjoy the burn with our pain, we see that our pain is just on the surface level. We all know this anyway, but experientially now, as we begin to hug that pain, we notice that this pain is in time. And the thing that's hugging it is timeless within you anyway. And this is how it teaches us how to come out of duality. Because if you're not in time, you're never in time anyway. We're just fooling ourselves that we are by saying, I hate this pain. Who's the I in that, if that makes sense? It's mental. It's a mental I. When really the I that we're talking about is the timeless I that is now being friendly with this pain. And that's how it begins to take us out of duality, and take us out of time, in a sense. We were never in time. We've just fooled ourselves. For example, we can't ever leave this now moment, can we? There's a proof that, you know, time doesn't exist and we're never in it. Try and leave now. Oh, we can't, right? And this really is almost a recognition of the timelessness within us. We're just fooling ourselves that we're in time, or we're fooling ourselves that this pain is mine, when really it's just a reflection of the timelessness surrounding it. Brilliant. I am so lucky that I get to feel this pain because I'm timeless. I don't know if that made sense. But that's the beginnings of coming out of duality. When we realise the timelessness, our timeless nature, our eternal nature, really as an experience, rather than just thinking I'm eternal, or probably in the dark night of the soul, just believing that I'm eternal. Because the dark night of the soul is really there to take you beyond beliefs. Like I said in another video, yoga and meditation have really good marketing. They bring you in on this like high vibe. It's like, I believe I'm so much more than what I am, and I am God myself, and I'm feeling so blissful and wonderful, and my vibration is increasing. And it's like, oh well, but these are all beliefs, right? Oh, I believe I won't die. We don't know that to be true yet, and it's almost like the dark night of the soul is there to take you beyond beliefs. It's literally like a quantum leap from a life of beliefs to getting rid of beliefs totally and utterly, and knowing it as your experience. And that's a possibility for everyone. But to do that, we almost have to realise our timeless nature. We have to come out of duality in order to do that. And I hope that doesn't make it sound too complicated. And I hope, because I know some of you are very, very good with this sort of stuff, that I hope that you're following me when I talk about this. And I get that my videos are sort of changing somewhat, but my videos are almost at the start, almost like on the surface level. And now we're sort of going quantum with it because I'm changing, and therefore the videos need to change too. And you're changing, and let's change together. Because if we're all changing together, isn't that a sign that our world is going in the direction that we want it to? We're only going up, right? By recognising the timeless nature in ourselves. Anyway. That will do. Thank you very much for watching. If this made sense, then please comment below, because sometimes I'm questioning myself. It really helps me if you comment, if you like the videos, then please do actually physically comment and like them, because one, it helps me know that I'm not just going crazy over here, I'm not the only one. And also it helps the algorithm for YouTube. So if you're commenting and you're liking, it actually helps me get this message. You don't have to do this. I mean, if you believe this message is worth other people listening to it, then please do comment and like, because it helps the algorithm, and then it helps me rank a little bit higher on YouTube, so more people can actually see this. Should you wish, there's a free guided meditation down below that will essentially stoke up some bliss within you, so that you have the confidence perhaps to venture further back into the truth of who you are, behind the bliss, encapsulating the bliss, almost like the bliss is a reflection of your timelessness. And also down below there's a free community for awakening souls, especially with the words that I'm speaking now. If a normal person came in off the street, started listening to what I said, without the training that you've had, they probably wouldn't understand me. And it may well be that way in your life too. You're trying to express how you feel, but you can't to some people, and that's why usually friends will drop away, and you'll find new friends, different friends that are more in alignment, more in tune with actually the words that you're trying to speak, because we understand we've gone deeper now, into a deeper level of life. And should you wish, there's a free community down below. We're growing fast. So I'd love to be able to see you in there, because people are getting engaged, people are helping each other, people are sharing things that they probably wouldn't even share with their parents, and that's awesome to be a part of. So should you wish, you're more than welcome to join us down there. For now, that will do. I don't know if this had any relevance to your life. I hope it did. I don't know if this helped. I hope it did. But my videos are changing, I feel, because I'm changing so much inside now. And If this isn't making sense to you, maybe take a break from the channel, maybe leave, unsubscribe, and perhaps come in again with a new... Maybe come back when it does make sense. If this is what you want to do, if you're still into this stuff. If you're not, we might have to part ways, because I can only see it progressing more that way now. So that'll do. I don't even know what I'm talking anymore. So yeah, let's leave it there, and peace.